Taro in style partner Raymond.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to question the open prejudice, lies, fake news of various foreign media organizations, a question now emerges. Can a foreign media outlet that deliberately distorts the map of our country, despite being penalized for it in the past, and yet it continues to do so brashly, be allowed to operate or broadcast on Indian soil? Tonight, as they try to undermine the sovereignty of India once again, we shred their propaganda into pieces. Let's debate.
A propaganda video by Qatar's national mouthpiece, Al Jazeera. Business as usual as they peddle lies about New Delhi riots. 1 minute 40 seconds into the video, the notorious media house displays a distorted map of India with the text, "While 80% of India's population is Hindu, almost 195 million Muslims live there." As the video progresses, 6 minutes 2 seconds into the second video, the anti-India hate campaign comes through. They say in 2001, the BJP made him the chief minister. And it's not the first time. In 2015, Al Jazeera was penalized for showing a distorted map of India. Following the latest insult, a complaint has been filed for distorting the map of India.
Can I tell you about Al Jazeera? Listen to me. On the 27th of February, they published an article saying New Delhi hit by worst violence in decades, what you need to know. One, listen to me. The word mob is used 3 times, each time to portray Hindus as barbarian. The section titled, "What is the CAA law?" almost slyly includes a sentence that says, since winning a second term last year, Modi's government has revoked the partial autonomy of Kashmir, India's only Muslim majority state, and says it wants to conduct a nationwide citizens register to weed out infiltrators. There is no nationwide NRC. The article is drafted in a way to lie and misinform.
The Delhi riots has laid bare the misreporting of the Western media. The episode raises a larger question. Can such media houses insult India, distort our map, and then be allowed to operate? Let's debate.
And as an explainer, let me begin by saying that there are also those media organizations which say, well, in India, when we broadcast to India, we'll carry the map of India. When we broadcast about India to the rest of the world, we'll show a distorted map of India. Now, if it is their hobby to distort the facts or to defame India, and if it is their, if Madhu Kishwar, if they essentially want to spread fake news about India, they want to distort our maps. They are basically therefore doing a distortion of the sovereignty of India. They're questioning the sovereignty and the territory of India. My question is, for example, would Al Jazeera have been able to take a liberty in Qatar? They report nothing about Qatar, but they distort the map of India. I think with the hashtag My India, My Map, my view is very clear. I've been always saying, show these people their place. Do not allow an Al Jazeera to broadcast into India. Block their broadcast. You cannot allow this channel to be downlinked in India, be made available to billions of people in this country. They make money and commerce out of broadcasting in India. If they're showing the wrong map of India, why should we tolerate it? Madhu Kishwar, why should we tolerate it?
Absolutely, Arnab. They are serial daily offenders. I cannot think of a single report by Al Jazeera
Louder, please.
which has been fair to India.
Louder.
It has always given partisan, very poisonous, noxious twist to almost every event they cover. And I really think that they need to be shown their place. And when they lie about something as serious as Ankit Sharma murder or the map of India, they really need to be sued. I think defamation suits and criminal cases need to be filed against those reporters who sitting here knowing the facts are willfully distorting them. We can't let them get away with it. It's only because we've been taking all kind of
So what is the way to-
poison,
Ma'am, criminal cases
aimed
and
at us,
defamations.
and
R.H. Sikandar is the human
defamation
rights
aimed
lawyer
at us.
taking you on.
Quite-
R.H. Sikandar, go on.
Ma'am, I second what you have said, but not just criminal cases and defamations. We need to ban them altogether. They have been doing it repeatedly. They have done it in the Lok Sabha
Good.
elections. If you see any news from India on Al Jazeera, they always present a distorted map. So why is the central government not taking any action by banning them? Why are we
Absolutely.
just banning them for 5 days just to do it symbolically? They should be banned altogether.
Tom
Not just
Badakan-
defamations and some criminal cases.
Yeah, why allow them? Why,
Allow them.
and wait,
This is nothing new.
I think Tom Badakan should take that. Tom, why allow them to monetize on our soil? Why does your government not have the ability to block them?
Well, that is a very...
They are operating in India under the
I think
clearance
now,
given by the Home Ministry.
situation is gone.
When the Congress was in power, they got the clearance from the Home
Arnab-
Ministry. Withdraw the security clearance. That clearance was withdrawn on May 29, 2018 for the coverage of Kashmir. Habitual offenders cannot be allowed to function in any way in our country, including their web portal, their digital streams. You cannot allow them to operate and function in India. Tom Badakan, question goes from you to him, right?
Absolutely.
He should answer. Okay, Tom,
you.
answer. Tom, answer.
Arnab, this is something which will be seriously taken by the government of India, and the Information Broadcasting Minister has taken cognizance of it. Let me tell you that. And it's not going to be something that's going to be ignored. Because this is the media house, there's sensitivity. But that
Why do you have to be
sensitivity ends
reminded?
with this kind of
Why do you have to be
behavior
reminded?
pattern which is not acceptable.
Why do you have to be reminded?
Which is not acceptable.
Why do you have to be reminded? Why do you have to be
No,
reminded,
and-
Tom Badakan? Why do you have to
No,
be
we
reminded?
don't need to be reminded.
Even in 2015, they are
Action
criminal,
will
they are
follow.
bigoted, they are absolutely
Action
fake in
will
their
follow,
presentation of
Arnab.
news, and you are absolutely aware of what they have done in the context of the recent violence.
Action will
You know
follow. Arnab,
what they have been putting out there
action
constantly,
will follow. The government
projecting
of
this
India
to be a
is not
pogrom.
going to be
Arnab, I
quiet
tell you,
on
they
this
don't
issue.
want to ban them. They want such channels to thrive. Because that is what RSS stands for. They want to divide India. They want such channels to thrive. They will give them clearances. Because
Who is they? Who is they?
RSS and BJP. They want India
No,
to be
that's-
divided. That
that's
is why they promote
absolute
such channels. They won't
nonsense.
ban
That's
them.
absolute
They will only
nonsense.
symbolically ban them for 5
That
days.
is absolutely nonsense. And
Sir,
who
please use some
promoted
parliamentary
them?
language. You are a national
Congress
spokesperson
party.
of a ruling
Let
party.
there be no
Yes.
You can't
denial.
use such words.
Who gave
What is
them-
nonsense? I can
who
also
gave
use such
them
words.
Permission?
What is nonsense?
Don't teach me decency and manners. But when you talk something which is untruth, which is something which is not acceptable
I'm sure you have
in
better
public
words. If you
domain,
don't have,
the
you
Congress
can learn
party
them before
gave
coming
them
on the national TV.
I
You
know
were there,
exactly
sir.
what
It's
I'm
been 6
speaking.
months you have joined
If you
BJP.
don't understand
Should I
English,
remind you?
I am
Or
using
you
a
have short-term
parliamentary
memory loss?
language. And if you
I
don't
will speak,
understand
absolutely.
parliamentary
You were in
language,
Congress
I'm
less than a
sorry,
year back.
there's something wrong with you.
Don't teach us what Congress stands for.
I may
You
have
were
been
there.
in Congress, that
You were
shouldn't
there in
bother you.
Congress.
But today I'm
Not
telling
may have been, you have been
I'm
there, sir.
telling
You have been
that
there.
this
What
is
what
a
do you mean by
Congress
may?
deed.
What do you mean by may?
Congress has
Ifs
done
and
it,
buts and mays, that's
and
what you have to
we will
offer.
undo it.
You were there.
We will undo it. We will undo it.
You were there in
Take
Congress,
it from
sir.
me, we will undo it.
We won't allow
Mark
you
my
to forget your
words.
past. Please,
Mark my
don't
words.
wash
The
away
question
your
is,
sins.
the question is, the person who has
You
filed the
bother about the
complaint says,
country.
first of all, I don't know why
confuse
even I should have to
issues.
do a program on this. Madhukeshwar is on the debate. Madhukeshwar is on the debate with Inamun Nabi right now. And the question is, there's a person who's filed a complaint saying in the context of the Delhi riots, where it has been constantly targeting the Hindu community with an intention to promote hatred and violence against the Hindu community residing in India, as well as in Europe and in the Middle East. Now, the question is, there's a great deal of misreporting which has been happening. It is making hundreds of millions of Indians vulnerable. Therefore, there's a criminal offense that has been carried out by this organization. Why is there no FIR till now? Why has this complaint not been turned into an FIR? Why should a repeat offender be allowed to malign our integrity? Questions, Madhu, which we will ask this government. What is the government doing? Why should licenses be retained? Why should a
Absolutely,
downlinking license to Al Jazeera be
I-
granted when they are conspiring against India?
Absolutely, Arnab. And I'm fully with you, 100% with you, and thank you for taking it up so strongly. But I am shocked at this lawyer obviously representing the Congress party. At a point like this, we should all stand united
You know better than
against
me whom
Al
I represent. Should I tell you
Jazeera
whom you
and
represent,
those
ma'am?
kind of
I
enemies
respect
of
you, ma'am.
India. And
Please.
he
Let's not get personal.
he's bashing BJP and RSS. By all means, put pressure on the government
Why
to
do you have to
the right
get personal,
thing.
ma'am?
But this
You
is
talk
not
about
the
the facts.
time to
It is not a
open-
debate about me or you. It's a debate about the country.
I am
know
talking
you have
about the
nothing to say.
facts.
That's
Why
you
did you
target me
have
personally.
to
You have nothing to
gratuitously
say.
bring
You have
in
nothing to say against the ruling
RSS
government.
at this point? You do your fight
Of course,
with
I will bring in.
RSS
Al
anytime.
Jazeera is
I
a
have no
repeated
problem
offender.
with
What do you have
your
to say? What has this government done? They are ruling us
hatred
since
for
past 6 years.
RSS.
And Al Jazeera is not
I'm
doing it for the
telling you
first time.
something
They have been
simple.
doing it since
For
past more than a
God's
decade.
sake, for God's sake, stop. Stop pretending that your heart hurts for India when Al Jazeera misrepresents
Oh,
and
you know
defames
it.
India. Because
You know
what
it.
you're
Stop
doing
pretending.
is
You
using
stop
even
pretending,
this
ma'am.
occasion
You stop pretending.
to indulge in
Yes.
RSS Hindu bashing. The moment you go on RSS bashing,
Of
we
course.
know the actual target
RSS
is
stands
the
for
Hindu
dividing the
community.
country.
RSS
I will
is
say
only
it.
an excuse.
You might be funded by
hatred
RSS.
of
I understand your
Hindus,
limitations.
your
But I will say it.
hatred
That doesn't
of
change anything.
Hindu civilization.
This is your
Oh,
rant,
please,
ma'am.
please
You
don't
speak
talk
on the
bullshit.
facts.
You
This is
know
not a debate
nothing
about me.
Who's who.
Please.
You're so ignorant.
You know what kind of language you're using.
You don't even know who you're speaking
Basically,
to when you
it is
talk
reflects
in
your
this
mindset.
stupid manner.
I know how
Please
ignorant you are.
Don't pretend
I know.
your hatred
Okay, 1 minute,
is
one-
You know
for
who's stupid here?
Hindus. Your hatred is
Whole
for
world is watching you, including our country.
I,
And you want to defend
let's go back. No,
Don't make a laugh-
I'm not interested in the
Don't make
personal.
a laughing
I'm not
stock.
interested. I'm not interested in your personal fights
Take a
out
deep
here.
breath, ma'am.
I am not
Take a
interested.
deep breath.
I am not interested.
Take a deep breath.
I am not interested. I am not interested in a personal fights out
He is
here.
getting personal.
We are on
He
a more fundamental
is
issue.
exposed. She stands exposed.
We are on a more fundamental issue.
Of course.
And my question is to Dr. Azhar Aslam, who's a political analyst from London. Now I want to tell you this. As far as I know, that in the United Kingdom, let's get Inamun Nabi on this. Let's get Sanjeev Srivastava on this. Let's get PK Basu. Yes, PK Basu is on. Let's get PK Basu and Sanjeev Srivastava on to take the debate forward. PK, tell me one thing. Singapore, United Kingdom, Singapore where you are, United Kingdom, Qatar, where Al Jazeera is. Can you play around with the map of the country and get away with it? Nowhere else can you do that, right? Nowhere else can you do that. Now, PK, what Al Jazeera has done is deliberate. They have been warned before and they are doing it.
Yeah, well, distorting the map of India, distorting the map is something that is occurring on a regular basis. Part of the problem is that the Nehru government, early on, 3 days after the accession of Jammu and Kashmir, there was a coup by the Gilgit Scouts, the British commanded Gilgit.
Had a coup and essentially took Gilgit away from India and made it part of Pakistan. This is the historic fact, and unfortunately, as a consequence, our maps constantly show Gilgit as part of India, but it has become part of Pakistan in actual fact. Now, in addition, there are other factors that have happened subsequently. Aksai Chin was taken by China. So if you look at the map of Jammu and Kashmir, there are large parts which have been lost, partly to Pakistan, partly to China, and we continue to show them as part of India. The rest of the world keeps distorting these maps. But unfortunately, the distorted maps sometimes reflect the reality on the ground.
Yeah, but there's a choice here, PK. The way I look at it is, nobody is forcing Al Jazeera or the Boring Broadcasting Corporation to make its broadcast, available in India. We're not going to them. We're not telling them that, please, executives of the Boring Broadcasting Corporation or Al Jazeera, please broadcast to India. We can very well live without them. They're the ones who have come here, Sanjeev, and they're the ones who are on their knees, and they're the ones who are desperate to broadcast to India. And since they are doing that, the only point is that they have to comply by the same rules that Republic does. Now, the rules that Republic follows for showing the map of India will therefore apply to any other broadcaster in India. If they cannot comply by the rules, I think, Madhu, the more easy option for them, right, is to stop broadcasting in India. Simple. Broadcast to Pakistan, broadcast to China, broadcast to Papua New Guinea, broadcast to Libya,
Are you asking
broadcast
Madhu
to
or me?
Mozambique. But you cannot, but you...
So, Madhu...
No, I'm asking you actually, Sanjeev. So, Madhu, let him take that.
I think he's asking...
the question is, you cannot fool around with the national symbols or the national map, right? So you have a choice. You have a choice. If you choose not to comply by the rules of this country, if you want to distort the map, don't broadcast to India, fine, get along with it. Broadcast to Plymouth, broadcast to Leicestershire, broadcast to Northern Ireland. Maybe there is a bigger market there. Nobody, no, I mean...
Great.
No, I'm just saying, broadcast to wherever
so
the
what
last
vestiges
I've
heard you.
of the fallen British Empire remain.
Libya, Sudan,
do not broadcast
whatever.
to India.
Yes. So what I'm saying is I'm thoroughly and completely with you and Madhu Kishwar, and I really stand by your fight which you pick up every evening. Yesterday you were taking on a head-on battle with Twitter, and sometimes against New York Times, Washington Post, Guardian, BBC, Al Jazeera. I think we should ban them all.
These aren't battles. If I may say so, these organizations are systematically bludgeoning themselves through the lies that they are putting out.
We should also
absolutely, and I would constantly take them on today as well. In fact, louder.
So we should break our relations with Iran. We should break our relations with Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia. Because
no, we don't have to break our relations with Iran, but we can give them a rap on their knuckles. We can give them a rap on their knuckles.
We have to fight back.
Don't dramatize.
We have to fight back. We have to do a lot of closing. We should close down a lot of things. We should close down half of the Chanakyapuri, or gradually we'll reach there by and by. So I wish you all the best.
Chanakyapuri, where is Chanakyapuri?
And I'm completely with you.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you.
You are being outrageous. India's foreign policy dividends are paying off as never before.
I'm supporting you.
India's never had better relations with
being outrageous.
No, you're not.
I am
you are
fully
being
with you, shoulder to shoulder,
flag
by flag, step by
Your
step.
sarcasm won't
work.
No.
Please.
Sanjeev,
you can't
even
take
I know
my
you
support.
for long
with
years.
You.
I know
want
what
all
you mean.
foreign media to be banned. I want all foreign media to be banned. Let's close down Economist.
But don't be sarcastic about it.
No. I'm not being sarcastic.
Please.
Why should I not be? Only you have the right to be
Sanjeev,
tongue-in-cheek. Can't I be sometimes?
This is not the time to smart off. This is not the time to smart off. This is not the time to use sarcasm.
It's not allowed at 10:20 p.m.
Or
it's not allowed at 10:20
the government
p.m.
of India. No, please.
So,
I'm saying, no.
I am not being sarcastic.
It doesn't
I'm
pay
saying,
to do so.
why are we finding ourselves in such a situation? What is wrong with our communication outreach?
We are in no situation.
So I'm saying, what is wrong with our communication outreach?
No.
What is the problem with us that everybody is portraying us in a wrong light?
India has better...
Who's everybody?
If there's nothing
How is Al Jazeera everybody?
Let's ban them all.
How is Al Jazeera and the Boeing Broadcasting Corporation everybody? Tom is on. Tom is on. You drew Tom into this. I'm talking about Al Jazeera.
US newspapers. Sometimes it's Guardian.
I'm talking about Al Jazeera.
Sometimes it's Economist. You have a selective memory about your own shows.
Yes.
I watch you very carefully.
I don't. I have a perfect memory.
Let's ban
I have a perfect memory. And
these
I'd like to
left of
get
centre communist
Dr. Azhar
organizations
Aslam. He's a
who are
political
not-
analyst from
who are
London.
against us.
You see, my question to you, Dr. Aslam, is, listen here. Question is, remember here, if you are going to be consciously peddling fake news, somebody's going to call you out at some point of time. And historically, you have to understand that Al Jazeera is nothing but a mountain of lies and deceit. They have not been tolerated in any country, and I'm sure Dr. Azhar Aslam will agree with me. They were banned even in Iraq. They were inciting hatred in Iraq. They were banned, Dr. Aslam, in Egypt. They were banned in Iraq again in 2014. They were banned in Israel too. Because the Al Jazeera has deep ties with the terrorist group Hamas and to terrorist groups in Gaza and the West Bank. It was complete Nazi-style propaganda by them. Saudi Arabia, all these countries demanded a ban on Al Jazeera. So all countries across the world, so it's not about India, every important country in the Muslim world and Israel have all asked for a ban of Al Jazeera, because Al Jazeera is not a news organization. It is an organization that's fed a lot of money to publish fake news. I mean, can you imagine the amount of fake news that they put out after the abrogation of Article 370?
Now, or is it just going to go on and on and on? You know?
It's an observation.
Finished, because
it's an observation. Would you like to counter any of my observations factually? Because you seem to be running out of patience. Maybe my facts are too much for you to digest, Dr. Aslam.
Citizenship Act law. You're not talking about the divisions and fissures you're creating there. You're not talking about the poverty and misery of
One second, Dr. Aslam. May I know your nationality?
And then you
may I know your nationality, Dr. Aslam?
It as a national rhetoric to occupy more airwaves.
What is your nationality, Dr. Aslam?
Media, so Indians
are you British?
Have access to anything. So of course, commercially, it'll benefit.
Are you British?
Yeah, I'm British as well as Pakistani.
Are you British?
I've got dual nationality. Of course, I've got dual nationality.
So you're British or Pakistani? You're both.
British and Pakistani. So
you're British and Pakistani.
It doesn't bother you.
So if I were to, 1 minute, allow me to complete my point. Allow me to complete my point. Allow me to complete my point.
There's not going to be any freedom
allow me to complete my point. Dr. Aslam, allow me to complete my point, please. Would you not listen to my question?
It's shocking.
I have two questions to ask you. I think he will take my question now. Dr. Aslam, in the hideous body politic of Pakistan, if I savage your boundaries and I then show the people of Pakistan the true boundaries of Pakistan, which, by the way, in my view, Madhu, should not include Baluchistan, should not include Sindh, right?
Absolutely.
And perhaps many other large tracts of the country. I would want to know whether the Pakistani military establishment, your so-called government, would allow the channel to broadcast this in Pakistan. I mean, your country is such a bunch of cowards, they do not even allow Republic to be broadcast in Pakistan. They're afraid that I will adulterate the minds of your gullible population. Now tell me, why do you not allow me my democratic liberty to tell you the truths about your country's real position to the Pakistani people? Why do you not allow me? No, why do you not allow me? Please answer my specific question. Dr. Aslam, please don't run away, don't scurry away, don't look for the next burrow to hide into. I'm asking you, please answer my question. No, I'm really sorry. I'm not proving any narrative. That was only the first of my questions. If I were to, for example, you say that you're British. I break up the United Kingdom into 7 different zones. And I change the map of the United Kingdom. Would the government of Boris Johnson allow me to broadcast that to the British people? Or would I be hauled up by Ofcom and more than that by your government for misrepresenting the facts? So then what does not apply in the United Kingdom and Pakistan cannot apply in India, because what is sauce for the goose is also sauce for the gander. No, 1 second. Please answer my question. I caught you there. Dr. Aslam, don't try to run away. Dr. Aslam, don't. Madhu is running away.
No, I'm not trying to run away. I'm answering
Madhu
your
is
question.
running away from a very simple question. You're not answering my question. I'm asking you that if I want to willingly distort the map of the two countries, which you say you have your allegiance to, would you allow me to broadcast that to the populations of the Great Britain, United Kingdom, or Pakistan? I'm not distorting the question. You are avoiding it. Why are you avoiding it?
Base passions and base instincts, Look at your tone.
No. Don't tell me about base. I talk about the crudity of your answer.
There is no
Please
balance in your
answer.
thoughts.
Please answer.
No balance in
The
your
words
thoughts.
I use are in English, a language that you are perhaps not very conversant with. What do you want me to speak to you in?
Imbalanced part of India, which is
Repeating
quite
it. He'll
unfortunate.
keep ranting the same nonsense no matter what you ask him.
I've simply asked him that I want to distort the maps of the two countries which he claims to be from. Would I be allowed to broadcast into those two countries then? I wouldn't be, right?
Look, I am not Boris Johnson
Simple.
or his government or Ofcom.
He has no
I don't
answer.
know what they will do, what they will not do. The point is that
You don't know what
here
they will
you
do.
are
Okay.
discussing.
Okay, now
what is
listen
the
to me. The
most important
point
topic
is,
for you, not the bloodshed
Mr.
in New
Azhar
Delhi,
Aslam,
not
since
what is
you are a
going on in
Pakistani,
Assam, not what
I
is
do not
going on in
expect much
Bihar,
truth from you.
Not how Indian society
since
is
you're a
being
Pakistani,
divided
you are
over
subject
and
to
over
prejudice.
again. Not how
My
you
question to
killing
you
and
is,
maiming people.
my
Now
question to you,
how
Abhijit Iyer
you have
Mitra is on the
treated
debate.
Kashmiris,
I'm having a
banned
terrific
all the
time.
internet,
In fact,
occupied it. You have,
over the last,
7
in fact,
lakh
over the last few
army
days,
sitting there,
in fact, over the last few days, I've
raping,
realized that
torturing
I really
people.
enjoy
You're not
Abhijit
interested in
inviting
any of
people
that.
on the program
You are
who
interested
talk
in a
so
map
much about issues
and a
that they know
boundary.
nothing about.
And you are suggesting
I want to
we should
ask you.
simply ban
I want to ask you,
everybody
Dr.
else
Azhar, I want to
from
frustrate
India.
you.
That's what
I want to
do.
frustrate you tonight,
I mean,
and my question to you this evening
what
is,
kind of madness is
my
gripped
question to you this
guys?
evening is, one kind of question to you is one question. There's no madness that has gripped me, but you are circling in your own lunacy, sir. My question to you tonight is very simple. Would you kindly tell me whether the Citizenship Amendment Act impacts the citizenship of any Indian Muslim? And if you believe so, kindly quote to me one line from the Act which you will use as justification for your argument. Do you understand English, sir? Can I ask you the question again? You want me to ask you the question again? You just made a few points about the Citizenship Amendment Act sitting there in London, getting your inputs from Rawalpindi.
You have millions of your own Indians marching against it.
You don't have to quote me.
Why do you need me to say anything?
So, no, you just
You've
made a
got
point
your
and now
own
you say you know
citizens
nothing about the
standing
Citizenship
up
Amendment
against
Act.
it.
What kind
And
of a person are you,
hundreds
sir?
of millions of them.
Tom, you heard that.
All
Abhijit, you
across
heard
the
that.
India, all
One second,
across
viewers,
the country.
this man has been
what do you
ranting
want me
about
to prove to
CAA
you?
being
That's why
anti-Muslim
he is-
for the last few weeks.
That's why
On a
Pakistan
live television
has
program, I asked him
hired the
to prove
brown
that.
boy
He says,
Blake.
I don't have to prove anything to you. It's in, how do you, did you think you would get away with, Abhijit, did you hear that? Dr. Azhar Aslam, who claims to be a political
If you
analyst,
can't see the
says
proof of what's
he
happening
knows
in
nothing
your
about the
country,
CAA, but he's been ranting about it.
How will I be able to prove anything to you at all?
I know what's happening in my country, but where are you sitting?
Basically,
Spreading
everybody
that.
who keeps talking about the CAA.
No, Dr. Azhar Aslam, come back in front of the camera.
You know?
No, quote me one line of the CA. Come forward. Don't run away from the camera. Come forward. The people of India want to see you. Thank you. The people of India want to see you. Dr. Azhar Aslam, quote me one line because I'm telling you the CA does not impact a single Indian Muslim. I'm determined. I'm determined. I'm absolutely determined, sir, to give you an intellectual walloping tonight. I need to ask you this question. Please tell me. Please tell Abhijit Iyer Mitra, right, who's on the program, one line from the CA to prove that it violates the citizenship of any Indian Muslim.
This is even a topic you're discussing, that how India's map is being
Are you
shown
unable
by
to answer the
TV
question?
channels, and whether you should ban
No, are you unable to answer the question? I asked you the
media.
question about the
But of
CA
course it'll
5 times.
be
Are you going to run away from my
commercially very
program?
beneficial for you,
Are
so
you going to run away from my
ban this, isn't
program,
it?
sir? I asked you the question. Abhijit, he can't answer. What does this prove? What does this prove? Madhu, what does this prove?
Means what?
Day after day, I'm getting these so-called experts who are just coming here
he's just
and
going
showing me how
on
utterly
and
ignorant they
on
are.
and on
You don't want to
in a
accept
closed
it. It's
loop.
entirely
Please
down to you.
appreciate his condition. Please appreciate his
he's just blithering.
predicament. The ISI has given them a script. Absolutely.
There you are. And I think this has
worrying
been
about
fantastic.
Pakistan.
Last 3
Don't be
programs.
obsessed
This is
about
the
it.
3rd program.
I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Why are you so
You could
obsessed
not
about
answer my
Pakistan?
question, Dr. Aslam. How will you look at yourself in the mirror tomorrow morning? How will you look at yourself in the mirror tomorrow morning and remind yourself you came on Republic, you were asked a question 3 times,
Just the
you
way
came
I look
unprepared.
every
Why didn't
single
you do your
day.
homework before
I
coming
don't
on my
look in the
program?
mirror every single day, by the way. in
No, but
any
why
event.
didn't you do your homework?
You know, I
Why
don't
don't you do
think
your
I'm
homework?
that much
Quote me
of
one
a
line. Okay, I'll give you
narcissist
2 minutes to do a
like
Google
yourself,
search.
probably. I'll look
Okay,
in the
go
mirror
back
every
and do a
single
Google
day.
search and find
But,
out.
you know, I have
Go
answered
back and do
your
a Google
question.
search and
You
find
just
out.
keep
Come
turning
back
a
to me when
blind
you're
eye
better
to your
prepared.
country and what is going on there.
I'm just
It's
telling
your
you again,
choice.
I'm giving you an
You've made a
opportunity. You're on a
choice.
live, unedited
And the choice
Indian
is very
television
stark.
program,
It's quite in
being
front
asked
of
by
you,
the anchor to quote
you are
one
just
line to prove that the
handling
CAA
the same
violates
fake
the
news that you
citizenship of
blame
Indian
other people
Muslims.
for.
And you're most pathetically continuing to speak over me. Professor Basu is there from Singapore. Professor Basu, we have Dr. Azhar Aslam in London, who is stuttering for words. The poor man has nothing to say now.
Well, I think the simple fact
Oh,
is that
I'm
He has nothing to say.
Of course I am.
that
So lost for words.
there is
aren't I?
nothing in the CAA that that
I'm lost
deprives
for words
any
and you
Indian
lost
citizen
for
of their
eyes
rights,
and sight.
whether
No
the
sight.
Indian is a Muslim
Blindness.
or anything else. So, I mean, the simple fact is
Look at that.
he could not demonstrate the point that he is making. The point he's trying to make is that somehow the CAA discriminates against Indian Muslims. There is not a jot of evidence of that. All you have to do is look through the CAA, and it is very
I
clear.
haven't even raised the point of Muslims at all, sir.
Providing
I haven't
solid-
even raised the Muslim point.
aimed
Just
at
because
providing
I am
solid-
Muslim, you
He's
all
backing
here
off
feel
now.
I'm a Muslim. but
Abhijit
I'm
is
not
backing off
speaking up
now.
for Indian Muslims. I'm not.
Pakistan
Indian
Abhijit,
Muslims can speak up for
Abhijit is backing off now. You
They
saw
have been
that.
speaking. You're just not listening to Indian Muslims.
He's backing off. The
That's
audio
your
lines are
problem.
not clear, but people
You're not listening
understand.
to your own citizens.
Very much are.
Now,
You
now
don't
people
give them a
understand.
chance to
Inamun
speak
Nabi
up.
is on the
Indian
debate.
Muslims
Inamun
just
Nabi,
You've been
brothers,
treating them for
Inamun
past 17
Nabi-
years.
question.
You know,
Inamun
how
Nabi
many
is sitting
just
there in
want to
Srinagar. You do
Yeah.
realize now
Muslim-
serial offenders will be taken on. And that applies to people like you as well. What I want you to see today is the renewed confidence of our great country. Our country is confident. Fake news will not be tolerated. Security clearances will be taken back. People who peddle the false narrative will be questioned. People who put out one-sided information are going to be questioned. You are realizing out here, it's not about Al Jazeera. Yes, I'm just going to, yeah, please, answer.
No.
Answer.
Why you have complaints against Al Jazeera for separating the hatred? You have many media houses in the country who have left no stone
Because it's a
unturned
serial
to spread
offender.
hatred. Somewhere you people are also responsible. Please introspect. Please introspect. It is not first time for. It is not for the first time that Al Jazeera has
Madhu is
shown
on.
distorted map, whatever you call it, in 2015 as well.
Oh,
But
it's not the
thing
first
is,
time.
You need to introspect.
He's
There are
justifying
people
it, Madhu.
sitting in this debate also.
He justifies it.
There are people sitting. There are people
only
sitting
justify-
in your debate also
That
who have left no stone unturned in
No,
separating
but-
the hatred. Let you file FIR against them who have disturbed the communal harmony, who have separated the hatred.
You have hatred
Where has
for
our unity
India.
and diversity gone?
You
Those
are
people, you need to take them
displaying
task.
open
You need to take them
hatred
task.
for
You need to
India.
take them task before
And if
before
we
reaching to Al
challenge
Jazeera.
you,
Let you introspect.
and if we
don't
don't
need
agree
certificates.
with you,
Not only
if
Al
we
Jazeera about the maps.
resist
They
your
have telecast a story on
hate-mongering,
Arnab Goswami as
you
well.
call us
They
hateful.
have
This is
telecasted a story on
amazing.
Arnab Goswami
It's
as well.
amazing.
How
So, I
in
mean,
the prime
what
time
are
of
you
Republic
doing?
Madhu.
TV,
You
they
are
are issuing the
defending
certificates of
people
nationalism.
who are
How they are doing?
consistently
How they are
defending
issuing the
India.
certificates of nationalism to the
I mean,
panelists? You need
how
to introspect.
articulate
You
and
have
passionate
played.
you are.
You have played very. big
I don't
role.
care what they
You
say
have
about
disturbed
individuals,
the
including
harmony
me.
of the country.
That's not
You
the
have
issue
disturbed
here.
the
I'm talking about the map of India, which is a slightly more important issue. Don't be so shallow. The question is about the map of India. Viewers, my question again to you right now, Tom Barakan on the debate. They show the wrong map of India. How long will your government allow it? You are allowing them to get away because you pull them up and you do nothing. I want you to tell Sanjeev tonight, why do you pull them up and do nothing? the same question which has been
Not
also raised on the program today by RHA Sikandar. You pull them up, you do nothing. They put out fake news after 370 goes, you pull them up, you do nothing
we
after
will
that.
act.
Now we're
We
watching
will
you,
act.
Tom. You tell me. No.
50, we have lost 50
You do nothing.
lives, and that's
week-
the-
You
and
give them a
that's the
conditional
period.
clearance.
We are
Your
going to
hard
act.
work.
We are going to
Your
act.
hard work remains unnoticed.
No, we won't.
I protest.
We won't.
Arnab
We
Goswami's
won't.
hard
We
work.
won't.
Hard work
And
of
none
good
of this will
journalists
be very
goes
categorical.
unnoticed
Sanjeev, it's-
by the
We
Sanjeev.
will
government.
close them.
You should ban Twitter.
Sanjeev,
No, I completely
Sanjeev,
agree
the problem
with you,
is,
Arnab.
at least I'm
I
putting in
saw
hard
your
work.
program yesterday
You're
on
putting in
Twitter,
hard work.
and
All
Twitter,
your hard work is
yes.
to support
No,
those who
I'm
put out
agreeing with
fake
you.
news.
I'm
I do my
agreeing
hard
with
work
you.
for the nation. Why do you want to work so hard
I'm
against the
agreeing
nation?
with you. I don't know whether
I'll
you are
work
supporting
hard for the
fake
nation.
news.
Why
No,
do you
I'm
want to
agreeing
work
with
hard
you.
against
If you
the
are-
nation?
If you are supporting fake news,
No, but why do you wish to stand with those who
I
are
am
against the
supporting
nation?
you. I said ban Twitter. Ban Twitter.
No, I don't know.
But I'm
no,
not
no.
standing. You want
I
me
am,
to stand
I am
there.
completely
you have to,
against
you
those
have to
who
box me
support
there.
terrorism in
you
Kashmir.
Have to box me
Why
there.
are you
Feel
on
free.
their side?
I
Why
know,
aren't you on the side
I
of the
know.
people of this country?
No, I'm asking for their ban.
Why are
I'm
you
asking for
on the
their
side of
ban.
India?
And I
Why don't you ask a simple question? I think the question
But
is,
I'm on the side
why
of
don't
India.
Why
I
don't you
don't-
ask
I
a
don't-
simple question, okay, tonight?
I am asking for a ban just like you are.
Tom
I'm
Barakan is a
asking
difficulty,
for a ban
says
just
Sikandar,
like
yeah.
you are. I don't know what is the difference between our stands.
I've known Sanjeev for quite
Either
some
you are-
time.
you have stopped
and I'm
understanding
surprised
plain
at
English.
his
Be able
reaction.
to answer that.
No, this is a slightly tone of Mark Antony in it. Irony, Brutus. It's about Brutus, you know, the style and
please.
tenor. Sanjeev, you're a good friend. I know
Mr.
the style.
Vadakan,
We
please.
know the Chanakyapuri is not real estate.
It is the
about
lesser
foreign
said, the
affairs.
better it is, they say.
We have a
Lesser said, the
successful
better it
record
is,
in
Mr. Tom
foreign
Vadakan,
affairs.
about you.
Foreign affairs have been successful.
No, I have a more.
You speak
Come
on
on,
the
Mr.
facts, sir. We are
Double-faced.
discussing a very...
Come on, double-faced.
I come on
Are you
a
talking
more
about
fundamental.
our country?
Abhijit,
Are you
Abhijit,
talking about
let me bring in a fundamental issue.
Yes.
No. My question tonight is,
Don't quote
I demand consistency.
You're double-
Okay. So Al Jazeera.
You can't demand consistency.
Just a minute, just a minute.
He might join any other party.
Why am I
He has no
speaking about Al Jazeera? 1
You
minute.
can't demand consistency from people like Mr. Vadakan.
Okay, he hasn't
I'm sorry.
spoken. Now, question is Al Jazeera. Will Al Jazeera depict the wrong maps of Qatar, showing areas and colonies of Qatar as part of Saudi Arabia, which it shares a border with? They won't dare to. Will they go back to Qatar, where an independent news site called Doha News was banned and blocked by internet service providers for speaking on gay rights in the Qatar, instead of distorting information in the name of free press in India? If you're for free press, then why did you not have the guts to speak about gay rights in Qatar? And for example, I am asking you here, you want to distort my map. I challenge Al Jazeera today. Open challenge to Al Jazeera. I want them to take this up. Will they go back and report on LGBT rights in Qatar, where same-sex intimacy invites a death sentence under Sharia law? They don't have the guts to do that. But they want to abuse my country's freedom of expression, to malign my country and distort my map. And they have very, very, very professional cheerleaders like Sanjeev to egg them on, saying, oh, you know, what's wrong with what they are doing? Do what you need to do in the country where you're operating from. Then come to the world's largest democracy and preach to us. Abhijit is on the debate. Abhijit's turn.
The country. When I demand a ban on Al Jazeera, I am against the country.
Abhijit's turn. I'm very clear. I'm always with the country.
Nonsense. How can you put me in a corner? No,
Abhijit's turn. Freedom of expression, Sanjeev.
You just can't
He's
put
exercising
words in my
it.
mouth. Bloody
Exercising it. He's exercising it.
I'm going.
Abhijit is exercising his rights. Respond. A walkout by the former BBC journalist could not hear a question against the Foreign Media House. But the trend is clear, Abhijit. More and more people across the country are beginning to question these antediluvian saurians, these prehistoric juggernauts, these dinosaurs of journalism. And I think it's fantastic. There's a rising up in India against these organizations. Abhijit, please. Yes, Abhijit.
So let's take the two paragons of freedom of expression, Britain and America. America bombed Al Jazeera offices first in 2001 in Kabul. Then they did it twice in 2003. Donald Rumsfeld is on record calling them a vicious, nasty, lying, mischievous organization. Deliberately went and bombed. Excuse me, sir, I did not interrupt you. I don't know what kind of family you grew up in. Please don't interrupt me. All right? It's considered bad manners where I grew up. Thank you. Now, this is what Britain, the Home Secretary at that point, David Blunkett, is on record asking his Prime Minister at that point to bomb more Al Jazeera offices. Please keep quiet. I am not talking to you. Thank you. To bomb Al Jazeera offices. Al Jazeera's correspondents have been convicted of terrorism and trying to unseat the government.
You leave Al Jazeera aside. Let you talk about the media houses in the country first.
Now,
you shut up. Nonsense.
Clown.
You don't.
Anyway,
you be civil. Be civil. Don't show this arrogance here.
Anyway. And then there is Egypt. There is Egypt, where Al Jazeera has been in collaboration with the Muslim Brotherhood trying to undermine the government, and one of these journalists is in jail convicted of aiding and abetting trying to undermine this government. Now with Al Jazeera, it is not just the question of the maps. BBC also does it.
You come to the country, what we have to do with Egypt?
Here we're talking
tell what is
about
happening here right now.
Of events.
How why people in millions are protesting, marching. Astonishing. You are reaching to Al Jazeera, you are reaching to Egypt, but you are ignoring your people. You are ignoring your people who are in millions marching. You are ignoring your people. Let you apprise the people about the country first.
And you deserve to be ignored.
You don't sound like our people. You seem to have a serious cognitive deficit, buddy. You need to go to a. You need to see a shrink.
We believe in communal harmony. Yes, you are ignoring those people who spread love. You are ignoring those people. You are ignoring those people.
Hello, I'm coming to those people right now. I'm coming to those people now.
We need to discuss our nation first.
Continuing, what has Al Jazeera done? Over the Delhi riots, it has engaged in singularly one-sided. This particular man who is talking, who is going on interrupting like a coward, these are the people who have been supporting that Muslim mob violence against Hindus, the brutal torture, killing, dismembering of at least 6 people.
No, we have been condemning. We are not people like you. We have been condemning. We believe in humanity. Humanity is supreme. We believe in humanity. Humanity is supreme.
You condemn them shamelessly.
Quran teaches me.
You do nothing of the sort.
We believe in
now
humanity.
It is all humanity. Afterward, till all these facts came out, it was all Hindu pogroms. Stop lying. You're a pathological liar. Now keep quiet.
Okay,
and you're an irrelevant man. Now, what has happened is, it is Al Jazeera.
Nation is coming to know who is lying. Nation is watching you. Nation can decide better who is lying.
And what is happening here is, the problem now is with the government. Why is it for this government that incompetence is the highest form of
Tom, come on,
achievement?
Tom.
They go around giving speeches, carrying out road shows and whatnot. They do absolutely nothing. It's just yak. The Prime Minister will give a lecture, the Home Minister will do something else, somebody will do something else.
I think you're absolutely on the ball here.
It's a tamasha.
And I think, Tom, you need to answer what Abhijit's saying. You know, these are such weak, intellectually and otherwise weak, decrepit organizations, but you're treating them with so much unnecessary respect. They are violators of facts. They have no respect left. They have a history. They have a history of misrepresentations to back them. Falsification. But you are not doing anything on that.
They have no credibility against these people.
When?
We are going to act. Rest assured, we are going to act. There is no confusion about it.
If they have no values, if that
we are going to act.
No values,
Rest
then
assured.
why we are discussing? Then why we are?
Well, we'll see when that happens. Tom, let me say the spotlight is on you. The spotlight is on you, Tom.
Procedure time, but yes,
the spotlight is now firmly on you.
I hope Mr. Patel acts before he joins any other party.
Well, I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the My India, My Map debate. And